Hello everyone, this is Daniel, and I'm going to be making a video, well, basically on drones and teleportation devices, and then conclude that all of this is very much true, and that we should probably be very much concerned for our future. Okay, so, and that was actually a nervous laugh. So, we have a parrot drone that was, I don't know if you can see it, but that thing was basically available back in 2010. And I had my dream about drones, yes. And this is a sensitive issue, so I'm going to talk about a few things that might go beyond what people will expect, or maybe it will be what everyone expects, and it will be not so good. So, the parrot drone was, if you look at Wikipedia, look up, what is it called? Parrot AR drone. Just look it up. And you know that the drone actually came from 2010. And when I had my dream, it was literally back in 1995 through 1997. I had a series of dreams of events that will occur 30 years later. And then a further future events maybe in the near future after that. What's going on is that I had a dream that these flying things, hovering things, were attacking the character in my dream back when I was young, back before I practically even knew about video games. I was like, yeah, I knew about video games. I knew about sprites in 2D and 3D a little bit, but I didn't know it was going to be this complex. And I thought, I was like thinking about dreams. I was thinking about dreams as in they're pretty darn cool, but I didn't realize it was going to be the future. So the figure of the parrot came into form back in 2011 when the experiments were over with and the drone came forth. So back in 1995 to 1987, I would say this dream came in 1996, like summer 19, no, was it? I was thinking spring 1996, so it was spring 1996, so yeah. So that would be 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10. So when they legally became toys, that would be 15 years later, so that's like 15th anniversary. So that's something to say right there too. So and it also said that there's going to be a green platform in one of the parts of the level. And there's also going to be some part of the level that's going to have, part of a Grammy award that someone had won. And it will be one of those music scenes that, why did he win that Grammy award when he had different type of music in plan? That came literally, say, 1987. So that's the 20th anniversary edition. Can't you see this is going to be interesting? So then there was a teleport device. They'll teleport you wherever you want you to go, if you can actually do that. That'll be literally in the future. And guys, this was back in 1986, 1985 through 1997. And it said I'll have labors back in that time. I mean, this is all adding up. And the Grammy Award thing, that would be like a special year edition, so 18 years later, that Grammy Award would go to him, which is actually, what was his name? Calvin Harris, yeah. I mean, he was a youngster, like, in his no, he was in his mid-20s when he made that song. Maybe 30s, so. I don't think it's going to be him, but he is going to conceive of Antichrist spirit. So he's going to disappear. And, yeah. I think I know what's going on. And also, the final thing I want to conclude is that the last thing that we will invent will be the invention of, well, anyone that says, oh, there's going to be a time machine. Well, the first thought of it was, I think, by an author that was, thinking about, oh, why wouldn't we just, he wasn't thinking of satanic things. He was just thinking, why don't we turn back time? And that's what I thought. He wanted to turn back time because he wanted to turn back the time and basically stop whatever happened in the past. He couldn't do it a bit like that. That's when Satan conceived of people to think of the time machine, which is actually going to be one of those things that's going to be the last invention, so it's going to be very few and far between. But it's going to be one of those things that, if you live long enough, which is going to be another thing, some people are going to, some of the military men are going to last forever, except they're not. And they're going to have a lot of scars, so yeah, that's not good. So basically, yeah, I mean, the time machine thing is really a fascinating aspect because you might not even realize what's going on these days, but during a few courses of time, I mean, there's also Photoshop of everything, but Photoshop was invented back in the 40s. It just says Stalin invented it just so he could get rid of his people in the photograph that had been killed. Yeah, that's just crazy. And also, let's see, the time machine, yeah, I mean, the teleport device, there's going to be like a green liquidy like hue. It's going to be, there's going to be some sort of machine behind it that, I don't know the technology to it, but it's going to be one of those things that maybe part of the time machine too, so it's going to be one of the last things. Into the rest of the game, let's see. Didn't get a lot of sense of it back then, but now I do have a lot of sense of it now. So there's going to be like, I don't know, they're going to probably put some ingredient in to make an island. That's probably pretty much going to be a recent thing. For the future, anyway. It's not recent, but more like close in the future. So that's probably like someone saying, "Oh, we can actually make like an island of dinosaurs." And so Satan was in control of the whole thing. And by the way, they're just birds, not actual dinosaurs. They're just birds. And by the way, you know that an ostrich has a nasty kick and they can run fast? I believe that whatever the bird is that is part of the actual dreams I have will have an even nastier kick than the ostrich. They'll be able to go through security glass that's as thick as, I don't know, like, not frame, but let's say as thick as a light bulb. They'll be able to kick through that. If they're in a zoo where they're in the glass, where the polar bear was, or a gorilla, they'll easily be able to kick through the glass so easily. It's not even gonna be pleasant for anyone to see it. And when they kick through the glass, you know, they will be heavy, but they will also be flighted. So they're gonna have powerful wings, powerful tail. So the tail will be devastating, and their legs are gonna be so devastating that within a few kicks it'll go right through the security glass. I mean, those legs can kick through rock just so the rock can fall into the enemy, like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. They're meant for kicking and hitting with the tail. They're not meant for biting. So if they end up literally kicking the surface of the rock and it breaks apart, it's probably a special rock too, but they might be able to break through security glass, no doubt. And their legs are probably the heaviest part of their body, so like all birds always have the heaviest part as their legs. And these guys will have really broad legs for a raptor, so if it's not a raptor, then I don't know what it is. I know that there might be another type of species, but mixed in with a raptor. Even more funny is that the broad species with the broad legs are basically a herbivore that really can kick even harder than they can. And one of those guys' kicks can kill T-Rex, no problem. So back to the time machine part. I mean, people won't be able to do it, but one guy will be, and you'll say, oh, we got the DNA for that. So we got an island for show for everyone to see the actual creatures of the past. Although they were just birds, and the sea was just knitted around with fish. And also, this is going to take place in the Indies, as I told you, kind of, pretty much. And then there was going to be the fact that it's going to take place possibly like 15th and 20th anniversary after 2026, so it's more likely than ever that it's going to be 2046 or 2041 that certain things will take place. I mean, we have 40 prophecies left until the very end. And some of them will go pretty fast and some other ones will not. But the last prophecy until the end is that every Christian knows that of the Bible. Everyone that is around the world will know about the Bible. And they'll choose not to go for the Bible, or few of them will. So why is this important? Why did that dream get important? Because I saw the drones in my one dream, and I thought, they're just flying things, and they're pretty scary. That's all. And I didn't think of anything of it, and I thought, oh, I wish I could do that, or I wish I could go there. But unfortunately, I now know that those drones are real. That was back in 1986, and now it's happening, and that those drones are real. So, now we have that now we have the fact that the drones are very much real. We also have a pillar that's breaking down so that, the Grammy Award, I thought that was just a trombone, but, inside of it was instruments of evil. Well, it turns out that that's just a Grammy Award, so we can blame it on Calvin Harris. But then another pillar breaks, and we have the actual green stuff that's actually a teleportation device. And we have a special part for that. Then another pillar breaks down, and then we have, characters or the fact that I thought were dinosaurs because when I think about that at a certain time. But also, I didn't know that they were in buildings. That should have been a red alarm. That should have been a red flag right there because why would they be in buildings? I didn't really want them to be in buildings. But that should have been a red flag because now they're in buildings. Then another pillar breaks down and then the pillar is no longer. The pillar also has sections, and that's a pillar. If you know what I mean. Like a crack section. And then another pillar falls down. Oh, what was I going to say? And then we have... how much time do we have left? Oh, that's probably... And then we have... the guy as the main character as that looks like me, but with black hair and longish hair, and he has a machine gun going after the people, and I didn't do well because I was me back then, that's how to control him. So, another red flag there is that I thought of it as elementary school or dinosaur, and I thought, why did you have a dinosaur dream? Turned out it was answered in a strange way. That was literally back in 1997, the final dream that I probably had about that. And it was clear cut that it was just right then, going on to the final part. That was in the end of 1997, guys. And that just meant that, that may just mean that these guys may be able to turn creature into human into creature with some sort of method that we don't even know about. Even more scary is that, those are birds. And, they actually can change a body in a big way, even if it seems impossible. So, guess what, guys? This future is in This future is in very deep water, in really deep water. So now you know that you have to be very aware about the future coming. Alright, I'll be done now, okay? Bye.